Hello, guys. This is G2,
And this is Raptor.
and welcome to this week's episode of Radio
Radio
Riders.
Riders.
Um, so we're gonna jump right into it.
Yeah,
Releases,
let's hold nothing back. Let's go straight into the first thing up.
releases. Oh wait, one thing. Q&A, no questions.
Yes, we do love those questions.
Yes,
for
I
sure,
agree.
if you have any questions, please ask us questions. Come on.
All right. So jumping into reviews, not reviews, releases and news. As for Rider, because we are going to be incorporating Sentai, at least for the next year with Kiramager.
Yeah.
But jumping in the Rider first, considering that's in our namesake.
Yeah.
To the most recent releases are two new Legend Rider Pro Guys keys, and those are Raptor.
Those would be Kamen Rider Build and Kamen Rider X-Aids keys. Those being best matching build and level upping X-Aid.
So, with that piece of information revealed, how do you feel about these keys, Raptor?
Well, level upping X-Aid is probably one of my favorite keys at the moment, just personally. Well, that's probably pure bias because I just loved the aesthetic that X-Aid had. And it was honestly the first Kamen Rider that I actually watched weekly, so I always have that bias.
That's the same with me. That was my first season. I watched it weekly as well.
Like I remember when the teasers for that first came out, and I got so excited because it was a rider in frickin' pink, and that just made me happy for some reason. I don't even know why.
Yeah,
Plus, he was a freaking gamer, and that just made me laugh. Gamers, rise up!
Yes, the sounds of the key are pretty cool. I like the jingle. I think using the I think it was the Amazing Hercules Beetle key as
Hercules.
Yeah, using that one as base was really smart. Because with the sounds that they ended up picking for it, based on like the gashat noises. And
I completely agree.
Yeah, and the text to speech is not like pretty expected, but it's still It's still nice to hear.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it is
Saving
patience on the first try.
Yes, very fitting of X-Aid and Emu.
Yes.
And then the next key was best matching build. I quite liked it. I quite like it as well. I think the shooting wolf melody, I guess, would be the name of it. I'm not a music person. The melody used for it was strange, but it works. And it's got a good text to speech, I feel.
Yeah. I don't really have many opinions on build progress speed because
yeah, it's not your favorite season, but yeah.
Like I don't think it's bad by any means. I think it definitely really shows off build really well. It has that kind of vibe that whole show had, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I can't knock the key for anything. I think it's a really good key.
Yes.
It also goes up there. Like all the Legend Rider keys, in my opinion, are really good, except Decade, because
that slight mistype. I'm assuming it was like a case of. I really hope it was. Then again, no matter what, you can't really excuse the fact that it went through like testing and like a couple weeks of like test, making sure everything worked and that it sounded good. So I can't imagine how that error like slipped past the quality, the quality department. But that was last week's information, so I guess we'll continue moving. Outside of that, the Memorial Ride Watch set was released. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. All three.
We got Tsukiyomi Ride Watch.
Yes.
And that's all. I think that's genuinely the only thing anyone actually wanted to talk about afterwards.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
Well, I do want to say the three ride watches, the three the Geo, Gates, and Waz Miride Watch are all, as you'd expect, up the quality. Have a bunch of voiceovers, including every significant Waz UI speeches in there, which is pretty great.
Which, yeah, that is amazing, honestly. But I gotta say, these memorial sets are really, like, I think I'm stealing this comparison from someone. I don't remember who. But someone at some point said that the anniversary or whatever releases are just CSM light. Honestly,
I think I said that, but I don't want to take the credit, even though I'm doing that.
I think you said. I also think you said it, but I want to take the credit. So
Fair enough. I mean, they do basically have they're kind of like a CSM light, definitely. They have voice lines.
Dr. Pepper versus Diet Dr. Pepper right here. People will have their preferences. Like me, I don't like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I like Diet Dr. Pepper though, and people think I'm a disgusting animal for that. And so that's always a fun conversation, honestly. Side tangent, I actually went up to someone and asked which they prefer, and they said Dr. Pepper. And I had this face of pure sadness, and then they realized why I was sad, and they gave me the face of pure disgust. And it was a funny situation to say the least.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But back to Ryder.
Back to Ryder things. That's a little too far
other than that, those three, they have they are basically CSM light. The only thing they're missing is some of the lighting effects that go into a CSM product. And I want to say there's something else, but I don't. Oh yeah, you know what? They don't have background music built into them like the CSM stuff does.
Which sucks, but that's fair.
It's okay.
Although we'll probably get an anniversary. What is this? What were these?
They're called memorial sets usually.
Oh, memorial. My bad.
Yeah.
We'll probably get a memorial.
If you're gonna say a 01
at some point.
Oh. Well, probably if they're gonna do they'll probably just do a CSM GQ driver.
True. Actually, I've been wondering about that. How would they go about doing a memorial, a CSM release of a show like
Geo? That's a hard pick.
Where the whole thing comes from the gimmicks rather than just the belt.
See, I've always wondered that as well.
And honestly, I can imagine them doing the only thing I can imagine them doing for a ghost CSM is putting actual LEDs in all the icons and then releasing all 15 main icons as well as Ghost, Spectre, and a handful of others.
Yeah, it's a very hard
make the
pick.
Jingle a switch. Make me choose whose jingle I get. God dang it! I'm so frustrated about that.
That would definitely be a function. You'd definitely be able to pick what rider you're
because the belt
into.
Cannot do you can't.
You can't do Spectre.
Musashi.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was trying to think of Musashi, but I just couldn't for the life of me.
No, that's fine. But yeah, in the DX, you can't do stuff like that because the jingles are preset to the icon rather than being selectable, and I'm frustrated about that.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anyway, yeah.
I can rant about anything really.
Yes.
I care.
So other than that, the base three, they have actual in-show transformation sounds. You hear the various you'll hear the rider characters hitting the helmet like they do in the show, which is neat.
Yeah.
But really all we really wanted to see out of this entire set, Geo, Gates, and Waz, was of course the one and only release of the Tsukiyomi Ride Watch. So much so the fact that the other three I think don't even have a normal ride watch function. She has a special switch, or you hold it down and it becomes the memorial version, and then if you hold it down again it becomes the normal DX version.
Huh.
So yeah, it's nice to have. It's nice to have for any Geo fans collection.
Of course.
To have a Tsukiyomi Ride Watch.
Few of us,
I'm sure I don't want to get into it too much, but I'm sure like there's gonna be people who will probably like go back and people who go back in the future become new fans will eventually watch it.
Appreciate Geo's beauty for what it was. God dang it.
There's always gonna be people who don't like it though, but that's okay because opinions are a thing, and I respect other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Well, he's so hesitant about that. Was there anything else that came out this week, or like not this week, but since our last episode?
Not came out, but things have been announced. I know.
And we're moving on to that right now.
Okay, cool.
Kiramager.
That's a perfect segue.
We are both very excited.
Yes.
We both really love the aesthetic of the season, and we're excited to watch it, really. But other than that, we got the announcement of the Minipla Kiramager set, which looks amazing. The proportions on it actually look good.
Unlike other sets, I don't know why he has arm cancer. But the DX looks so weird, okay?
And like we've
thick thighs and legs in one tiny arm, and I don't understand how that happened. Especially when the Minipla looks perfectly fine in comparison.
Yeah, it's also like the head. The head's really, really small on the DX, which is unfortunate because it's one of my favorite like Sentai head like mech designs I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, Yudo figures of the main core 5 were also announced, and those look like Yudo figures.
I mean, see, like I'm not super big into the Yudo line. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing personal. It's just I don't really care for it.
I wish there was like a upper like tier, because like all we get for Sentai is like the vinyl like static figures that have like arm movement, and that's it, that have like sparse painting and detail, and there's also, like we mentioned, the Yudo like candy toy like model kit type sets, and those are,
I wish there was,
those have like stickers for the details. But like the joints are very obvious because it's a model kit. Like,
do we really want to call it a model kit though?
You do. It's a basic model kit.
Yeah. Okay, we can agree on that. If it is considered a model kit, it's not very complicated.
Yeah. I mean, it's a candy toy though, so
that we will also talk about. Hint, hint. But
wait, what?
I wish there was like a Rider Kicks like equivalent for the Sentai figures. Honestly,
like the Yudo figures.
No. Like the Rider Kicks line for.
Oh, that okay. You meant like okay. I was confused.
I want an equivalent to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, but like apparently, the kids don't really buy the figures, and I don't think there's enough in a. I don't think there's like enough in what.
Really?
Apparently, I mean, I can't think of any other reason for why there isn't any, like, normal figures for Sentai.
Fair, I guess. I don't know. But, it's strange, to say the least.
It's unfortunate, because, like, this is one of those, this is definitely another year where I'm a bit upset that the SH figure art line of Sentai didn't sell very well, because I think the Kiramagers would make for a fantastic set of SH figure arts, especially with like the gem motif.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
They are I think the suits look amazing. Personally, I know there are
definitely people who don't like it,
who don't care for it. But me personally, it's really hitting a lot of things for me in terms of aesthetic. And
that's really what's important. We all have our own personal aesthetics, so and it hits ours, and I'm happy about that, because I'm really, like I said earlier, I'm very excited for March 8th.
Yes.
So I think that's it for releases. I guess we go on to our weekly overview and thoughts about the most recent 01 episode, which would be...
Wait, actually, no.
Oh.
I actually wanted to talk about the Figurized Deno real fast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we forgot about that. That's my bad.
I didn't. Remember when I said there are other model kits?
Oh. Okay, we'll try and do that in the rider section next time, but speak your feelings about it. No, I'm saying go ahead, but like, I mean, like, we need the... I forgot that thing come out. We'll do better next time, guys. My bad. So, I know that you're very excited for it.
Yes.
I added this man on Twitter as soon as it was revealed.
I like Deno.
Deno's Raptor's favorite rider season.
Well,
damn near favorite season.
I'd say second favorite now.
I mean, that's like... Oh, what would be... What's your first, then?
Drive.
Ah, I figured. Is there a drive Figurized?
Huh?
Is there a drive Figurized?
If there is, please, send that info my way.
I feel like there is.
No.
Anyway, what are your thoughts on it? I know that you're very excited for it.
I'm so happy. Honestly, the pure fact that they're going to do it the way they are, where the armor, the actual, the sword form armor can actually detach, makes me hopeful that they'll do a secondary release with the armors of the other forms. Wing form.
It is.
At some point.
It comes. I found it to mention. It does. It comes with parts to make both, and you can just you like attach and you detach and attach whatever parts you like want to have it in. So like there's, I think the helmet is the only part that's like if you take off the sword form mask, you get like the platform mask. I don't entirely know. There weren't too many screenshots of the platform.
No, there weren't. But that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, really, with just how the Deno suits and whatnot work, enough comes off the suits to swap around. It wouldn't be the first time that a Deno toy has done that.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the Kiva toy that did that.
Yeah, I think it's the...
It's not that great.
Yeah.
Like, I love the thing, and I'm still happy that I got it, but, like...
It's a bit weird looking.
It's a bit wonky.
Does that have, like, the small head underneath?
No.
Aw.
That would have been funny.
That would be funny.
But no, I was a dumb, stupid kid and actually lost all the weapons and the swappable, like, eyes.
Aw.
So,
that blows.
Yeah, I got it when it was relatively new still, so...
So, like, 2000, probably 8, 9? Maybe 2000?
Actually, I said relative. It was probably more like 10-ish.
Okay, so it had been out for, like, 2 years then.
Yeah, like, it was still quote-unquote new, but it wasn't a new thing, you know?
It wasn't, like, new, but it was still, like...
Yeah, like, you could still find them, like, inbox, like, no issues.
Yeah.
It was strange, all the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, that's, I like the way that the Deno Figurized looks. I may pick it up. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I know that Raptor is definitely going to pick it up at one point.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. They're worth it. Figurized are very worth it. Especially if you have, like, some experience with modeling.
Or you just want to start experiencing it. You're a Commodore fan, definitely pick up a model kit. That'll be the first Figurized figure I pick up. Yeah. I've actually seen them in stores. I've just never gotten them.
Because I know that they're making it to, like, they're one of the things that are, like, you can go to a GameStop and hope you might find it there. Anyway, I guess now, episode review?
I suppose so.
Alright. Kamen Rider 01, episode 21, yes. Objection, that trial. Basic synopsis. Next, the third round of the 5-part, like, competition.
It's really starting to build up and look like they are going to stretch this out for a long time.
So the basic plot is this. It's a court trial based competition. The rules are if the I apologize if I like mess this up, but the prosecutor is the Hiden Humagear, and then like the defendant. Wait, is that right? That doesn't feel right. Hold on.
What?
Okay, so the I don't know. I'm not like super versed in law, so I apologize.
Well, I'm sorry. Like
Okay, I got it. I understand now. Okay, the Humagear is the attorney, so he is defending the client being accused, and then the Zaya spec user is the prosecutor. The lawsuit being like a dating marriage scam.
Dating scam.
Yeah. The guy was basically he proposed to a girl. They got married. He was like, I need. He allegedly he allegedly asked her for like a large amount of money, and it was deducted into like a scam account. He's saying he didn't do it, and then she's saying that he did do it, and that's where the conflict of this particular episode is about.
Yes.
So what were your overall thoughts before we do a deep dive into certain things?
Oh, my thoughts first.
Yeah.
Personally, it was one of in my opinion, it was one of the more interesting episodes of late. But that's just because I'm super into courtroom dramas and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games are some of my favorite games of all time. Honestly.
Naturally. Yeah.
So when I realized that this was going to be an episode about an actual court case, I was skeptical because I didn't know if they were going to actually go through with an interesting case.
Yeah.
And then after that first episode, I got so excited because I got immediately invested in trying to see actually how this all turns out.
Yeah.
Who did it? What's happening? Why is it happening? I am way more this blasphemy, I know, but I'm way more interested in that court case than I am the rest of the show at the moment. I'm just I'm really intrigued, I gotta say.
Yeah. I have
that's just me personally. That's just because it's my thing.
I have similar sentiments. It's only been one part of the two, but I've already got more excitement out of it than the past two trial not trial, wrong word. The last two competition. We'll say competition. The last two competition rounds. Mainly because I don't watch a lot of trial court-based stuff or play that many games with it, but whenever I have seen it, they tend to pull me in pretty easily.
Yeah,
that has made this whole episode way more entertaining than the flower arranging. That one was all right because it was the first of the formula, so we didn't really know, but the house selling one was oh, okay, is it just going to be this for 10 weeks if they go completely all the way? But this episode has gripped my attention, and I'm actually quite interested in it. And it's actually affected how I felt about the remaining parts of the episode that isn't the court-based stuff.
I also will say that I am incredibly happy because I know court cases like this usually stretch on for a few days. And so that could also mean, I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but this could mean that we're going to have an actual, an extended
I'm sure
story.
I think they said it was a one.
I only say that because of the preview, and I don't think that's going to be a plot point to just be cleared up in 2 episodes.
Yeah, it also could be like going into like next week's episode. We'll talk about it in a second, but I'll bring it up now. Considering that like I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get here's the transformation for Metal Cluster Hopper, and then that's gonna be like, preview.
Stuff.
Yeah.
In other words, the exact thing that happened with Shining Hopper.
And Shining Assault.
Oh yeah. So we're definitely gonna have.
We might. Yeah, it's very likely. That's 2 for 2 when it comes to like straight upgrade form stuff.
Wait, did it happen for Assault Wolf too?
No, Assault Wolf transformed and had a full fight.
I couldn't remember, honestly.
Yeah. That was like a 1-episode arc. Anyway, I think other than that, that's I really like the episode. I'm looking forward to part 2, and like we just said, maybe a part 3. So let's deep dive into like what we noticed in the episode. Did you notice anything?
Well, I gotta say, I did notice Thouser being a bit more of a dickhead than he usually is. So, I mean, not enough to personally dislike him still.
Okay.
But he was being a bit of a dickhead, I will admit.
Yes. I actually was like, so I watched the episode, I think it was Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday?
Alright.
Anyway, I watched it before Raptor. So I messaged him immediately after I was done, because, I've been pretty like positive about Guy so far. Like I have been like, okay, he's a good villain. He really pissed me off this episode, and now I'm appreciating him as a villain even more. About that, Raptor, I had time to think about it. I hate him as a person, but he's a very good under your skin villain. The villain that makes you want to hate him. Without being like outright. Without being like I don't know how to word it. He's not a simple villain.
He's not Oja.
No.
I'm sorry. I just...
No, it's fine. Honestly, we probably need to spill like some past Rider seasons into these episodes anyway. So it's good.
Yeah. This is the perfect time. I despise Oja. And not like as in I hate this character and blah blah blah, but because he's a villain. No, I just think he's poorly written and boring. That's just me,
Yeah.
Man, that's a hot take for you. I don't hate Oja because he's evil. I hated him because I thought he was boring.
It's been a very long time since I've seen Ryuki, so like I might have to do like a rewatch in it, like in some like in some time or something.
Part of my issue might have been that I saw Dragon Knight before I saw Ryuki.
And I know you really like Dragon Knight a lot.
Dragon Knight is such a good show. And it was so different than Ryuki that I couldn't predict what direction Ryuki was going in.
I think that's good for an adaptation.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I got let down by Ryuki heavily, and I didn't like the show very much. But I can say without a doubt that Dragon Knight was extremely different, to the point where just because you saw one does not mean you would know what's going to happen in the other.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's good. Also, Strike and Oja are such different characters that it's pretty off-putting for me to see Oja and him be a complete asshole instead of being Strike, where he's an asshole, but he can chill out sometimes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That is truly the difference between the characters. Strike can chill out sometimes, if it really comes down to it.
All right. So from 2002 back to 2020.
Yeah.
What were you saying before?
Swap around the zero. Let's swap around the 0 and 2.
What?
Yeah, where were we?
You were talking about it. You just kind of went on an Oja rant.
Right, the new episode. But yeah, I'm sorry. I get triggered whenever.
We were talking about Guy, I think.
Okay, so yeah, I really like Guy still, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is clearly an asshole.
Very.
That is no doubt.
He's less, I want to say, to a point from a little bit ago, I think he's less morally gray than he was.
I think so.
It's just like he, like in the end of the episode, he very clearly, intentionally agitates a Humagear, causing them to go berserk, and then he hacks them with a Metsubo Jinrai Force Riser with a key loaded into it. I don't. That's not something. I don't think that's something like a. It's definitely more.
It's
villainous.
more malicious than he usually is.
Yeah,
I will give you that.
It's a little bit more malicious.
A lot more malicious.
Yeah. And that also brings a good question. Where did he get a Force Riser from? Wait, no, not Force Riser. My bad. Oh, God, I feel so embarrassed. A Zetsuma Riser from.
Yeah, Zetsumetsu Rise.
Yes. Where? I wonder where he got that.
I don't know, actually. I don't think that they even...
He just kind of
they didn't even
out.
hint at that. They just kind of said that he just kind of had one.
Yeah. Huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but he, intentionally... yeah. So, that happened after... he was also very, off... I was gonna say offensive, but I don't think that's the right word for it. But he was very offensive on the offense. I guess defense though in this case, because initially what had happened before that sparked that issue was Aruto, Izu, and the lawyer, Bingo, Bingo, were had done some research, or not some research, but some investigation, and they determined that the defense attorney, the defender of the victim, had dropped, they found a dropped Zaya spec that was identified
to him.
Yeah, they identified it as his after their fight, Aruto's and Fua's fight against the Lion Raid Riser.
That fight was kind of funny, I gotta say.
Yeah, on that in a minute. So they confronted him about it, and then the dude was like, "Oh, I dropped it, or someone stole it, or something."
Yeah.
And
but
the attorney ruled out oh, he was in this incident, and then guy was like, "This is slander. Take him to the principal's office and have him expelled." And of course, naturally, this would, because it was kind of he went on as "Oh, Humagears make mistakes. They're just tools." They, that tirade, and obviously that wasn't gelling well with the Humagear. And he was intentionally doing it, knowing that the, because they had literally learned, the scene before, that it was negative treatment of Humagears that was causing these negative singularities. It's a clear malicious action, and is definitely a step above. Definitely a step above his initial motives, or initial actions earlier in the season, even before we knew what he looked like.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm really curious to see what his true motives and where his goals really lie. The scope of them.
Man, Thalcer to me is such an interesting character.
Yeah. It's why I do like him, though.
Yeah. How do I put it? I think my favorite part about Thalcer is, even though we know he is the bad guy, he is supposed to be the bad guy, at least, from what I can gather at this point, I still find him super interesting, and I still enjoy seeing him on screen.
Yeah.
But I completely understand his point of view, even though I don't agree with it.
Yeah. I think I get it, but I don't see why both products can't coexist at the same time.
Because Humagears will become more powerful than humanity. We're literally looking at a Skynet situation like Terminator.
That's fair.
But become more powerful.
I'm saying I'm saying like the Zyspec plus the human gear. Like the Zyspec is still a product, and people still use it.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Honestly, part of me is expecting a bigger, badder villain coming in before the end of the show.
Bo, maybe.
Yeah.
Still don't know who Bo is. Bo wasn't in this episode, actually.
Yeah, which is strange.
We don't know where or who the Raid Riser is yet, actually. Funny enough.
Yep.
I wonder who it is. Do you think it's the the defendant attorney?
You think?
I feel like the prosecutor is the real name. I just looked it up. It could be the prosecutor. It could have been like a red herring, but like I don't know why you would do like a double.
That's what I think personally.
Yeah.
I think it was just a whole. Hey, look, see, I couldn't. Like that wasn't me. Haha.
Couldn't have. It's not like it was attached to glasses that I need to wear.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to some other aspects. The fight with Vulcan and 01 against the Lion was so funny. My God. The Looney Tunes dynamite, bro.
And they both just stop and look at each other.
Eh? Huh?
Hey, what's the... Oh.
I played that scene over, I think, about 10 times. It was pretty well. That was some good comedic. It wasn't like, it's very slapstick and very like not exactly like the most intelligent humor, but damn, it was effective and it was funny, and that's all I care about.
Honestly, it made me laugh, and that's where
I was dying.
Stopped caring.
I was dying. It was
funny,
so
and that's
good.
That's all I cared for. Like, yep, funny. Okay, I laugh now.
Huh? Eh?
Like, what's the... Boom.
And then the lion Raid Riser just runs off.
Like a Looney Tunes villain.
Yes. We got to see Hirobi again.
Seeing Hirobi is always cool, I guess, because...
in fact, yeah.
Cool.
Aruto got to talk to Hirobi. The last time he did, he was fighting him before his supposed death.
It's still crazy to me that Jin and Hirobi are still in the opening.
Well, Hirobi makes sense. Jin is just kind of like I wonder where that's leading. I do think that they wouldn't... I don't see why they would throw out Jin so quickly. And also, this is the guy who wrote X8, so character revivals are not a foreign concept to him in his writing style when it comes to the writer.
Especially reviving characters and then bringing them back as a protagonist. Or
yeah.
That does happen.
Mm-hmm.
Quite often.
For sure.
Case in point, literally every villain except Kronos
yeah.
Is
you know, the weird thing about that is Genom had like a weird kind of like roller coaster, because he was like evil and then he became like the silly good guy who was villainous, and then he became evil again until his death, which I'm pretty sure he dies in the trilogy.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, he is, our good boy Shin Dan Kurohoda.
A good bad boy is what really meant.
Yes. I could have said that, but
yes.
I didn't want to.
Good cool Kaiser VSX.
Good cool Kaiser.
Good bad Genom, dangerous zombie.
Huh.
Anyway, I had some things I wanted to notify, or like not notify, but like I wanted to point out. Fuwa seems to had after killing Metsubo Jinrai, pretty much not single-handedly, but like half of its force, which when you think about it, he actually did like kill like half of it. He took out Hirobi and Ikazuchi. Like, he didn't kill Hirobi, but he took him out of the fighting, and he's captured it right now. The other two are Bo, who hasn't been found yet, and Jin, who was eliminated by Aruto. So, like, I think he's reached his, like, lifelong goal. But I wanted to mention he seems to be more accepting of Humagear ever since his hospital visit.
Yeah, it's always a nice little bit of character development.
And I'm glad he was like a little bit more, because it feels like he's been in the sidelines for the most part since that arc, since the ending of like that part of the show. So I'm glad to see him up front again. Oh, you know what was really good on this episode? Aruto's development. He has a temper that I can't not notice now. After like his recent episode at the end of the episode. He's got a temper.
Yeah, he does.
And I kind of think back to that first episode where he first transformed and fought. He had the same anger in his voice, at least at before the fight started, that we hadn't really seen like completely until now.
Things do change, I gotta say.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see how it develops and how that goes into next week's episode with Metal Cluster, which upon more information coming out, like with like the magazine scans and all that, it being a rampage like form along the lines of hazard build and like Puto tier O's, those type of forms.
Yeah.
Are you excited? I'm excited to see the form a lot. I again.
Body job.
I'm excited to see the Henshin next week and hear the full thing in a day or two when K2 gets his hands on that key.
Oh yeah, that key does come out sometime this week.
Probably. I think it's be like tomorrow morning, because this is like a Wednesday, and his videos typically come out like Thursday with anything new.
I never thought about that. You got a point there.
Yeah.
Got a good point.
So that'll be next morning probably. Is there anything you want to say about next episode, other than
I'm really excited to see Metal Cluster. I really like the suit, and the key looks amazing. That's honestly, my opinions on it are pretty basic.
Yeah, to be fair, we haven't seen it yet.
But
seen in action. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have a crap ton of opinions on it. But I will say I think it looks great.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool.
Can't wait to see it actually fighting, because honestly, a suit can look as good as it wants, but it's really when it's in action that anything's truly decided.
That's typically, I've found that many people's thoughts on a suit are like finalized once it's like there's like a stage to it. It's like early leaks of it. It's like, all right, then you like your first opinion forms purely on look of like a drawing or like a blurry photo, and then you get like the magazine scans where they're like, it's like better quality photos but it's better shots of it, and you're like, all right, or like and then you get like the preview episode where it's like, okay, it's an action, I really like it, or it's, I don't know how to feel about it again, it's like a little bit worse. And then finally you get your final opinion, I found, at least for me, and it seems like it's been that way for other people, is like once it's actually fought and everything, that goes with that, like seeing in action, what effects they give it, how it fights, how the character uses it, that seems to solidify everything on a suit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
At least your initial opinion, barring any like changes that happen over time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're obviously slowing down currently. We're running out of things to talk about, so I think
Honestly, the very next thing we could actually talk about would probably be just start leaning into bringing other seasons into this and start talking about those.
yeah.
But, yeah,
Yeah. I think for that, like, we'd need to like plan about it, like what we want to talk about topic wise.
and which seasons we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, I haven't seen all the seasons yet.
Yeah.
I know you have.
I mean, we could like.
It's so crazy to me, but
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a loser, so I like hard focused.
don't say that about yourself.
Don't say it. Yeah, but like I completely dead ass like hard focused Kamen Rider. Sentai is where I haven't watched much of. I've watched a few seasons. I have a few seasons under my belt, but like other than that, yeah. I try to watch it week to week, but yeah. I think that's gonna be it for this week's episode. A little bit of a shorter one than we usually do, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Well, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
Tell us. If you didn't, sorry to hear that, I guess.
But do you have any closing thoughts before we completely wrap this up?
Of course, I've always got a handful of things to say.
I think I know.
I got the chance to chill out things again.
I guess we'll just make like the last minute or two Raptors shilling out corner. All right, go mad.
Okay. So one fanfic.net read Kamen Rider Raptor.
It's actually really good. I'm not saying that as just because he's like a close friend or anything. I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
That was believable. No, I'm kidding.
Shut up.
Thanks, Matt.
No, but seriously, it's a fun, it's a pretty fun fanfic, and he needs some more feedback on it. So it's not even like give him the views and give him the clicks and give him the love. Genuinely,
tell me how bad it is. I need the information for when I write my next season.
The only thing I can really say is that there's a couple typos, but that's natural.
Yeah.
You don't exactly have a professional editor looking over your story.
I have an editor, but he's not a professional.
Yeah.
I love him though. He's great.
Yeah, Chin.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Chin if you're listening to this. We love you, man.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, we love you, man. Read his story too on Archive of Your Own. I don't know what he's going to title it as, so I'll leave it in the description or comments or something.
Yeah.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
2. The next thing I'm going to chill out. Watch Kamen Rider.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Yes, the floor here is floor.
Speaking of watching things, you guys should watch Samurai Flamenco.
Yep, there it is.
I'm telling you guys, if you like tokusatsu, you like anime, and you like being mildly depressed by the time you end the show, then yeah, you should definitely pick it up. It's just that good, I swear.
Is that all you have?
That's all I got for right now. I gotta say.
That's this
fun to stand off with. If you want to be mildly depressed, go ahead. Oh man.
Well, I guess that's this week's episode of Radio Riders. Catch you next time.
Yes, it is. Haha.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Peace out, Borger.